Jordi.
My name is Jordan, and this is the story of how my short film repaired the relationship with my dad. Now, without sounding like an absolute prick, my goal as a filmmaker was to make it big on my own. No family, no friends. To the world, I got where I got because of pure fucking talent. Boy, did I learn my lesson. I'd been raised in Munich by my mom and dad, separated since my birth, so I guess you could say I didn't know it any other way. After living as an expat for 15 years, my mom was ready to return back to the States, but my father was not ready to give his children up. They fought. But having found out too late, there was little he could do but say goodbye. Although Mom was hopeful that this repatriation to her hometown of New York would provide a fresh start, what followed was mostly just rotten. I would often sit in the living room of our big, dingy Harlem apartment, watching Cartoon Networks as my grandma stuffed my face with some good old pancakes. But as I sat there pouring my butter and berries and syrup, I couldn't help but think about my dad. Because of these concerns weighing heavily on me, I began seeking a creative escape.
Hello, this is Anthony File News reporting. Oh gosh, oh, you know something? I'm sick of pollution.
When I was young, I made comedic videos with a handheld camera and uploaded them to YouTube.
I don't think you understand, okay? I'm a very nice person. You just don't appreciate my goodness. My gosh, you think that I am some kind of picky person. Because my name is Egna, and I don't fit in sometimes. But I have bangs, okay? Nice bangs too, so you better respect me.
When I was older, I wrote short stories. In high school, I began dreaming of scenes and sequences, so I decided to place them in a storyline.
Look at all these carrots, wow.
Somebody chopped those.
Aggressively. Hand chopped.
Keeping my roots and using stories to understand myself became a routine form of therapy and communication.
So are we not using this light?
No, not for now.
That's disappointing. I like it. It's an Omni light.
We might switch. I don't know what it looks like.
We're all here for Tom. Tom was a good man. He was a loving husband and a great father. And sure, he had his moments of despair, and unfortunately, he decided to ditch us.
Okay, so your dad's dead.
Lydia!
Pass the salt, please, Charles.
Mom? No, he's not dead.
Jackie, tell them the truth.
Dad's dead? No, he's not dead.
He's not dead?
Oh, he's dead.
Keeping my roots and using stories to understand myself became a routine form of therapy and communication. So naturally, I would, at some point, return to my roots and write a story that reflected them. When my hard-earned, merited, and well-deserved production in Munich was on its way, I was ready to prove I could do this. I could take on this monster. A special effects-driven film with 4 different locations and 2 crew members in 3 days? It was fucking hard, but I said fucking yes. I was ready. Yet lo and behold, everything I had worked for had fallen apart. My crew members weren't picking up, 2 lead actors could no longer make it, and I was left in the dark. Having only had one night to prepare something or leave my film in the garbage, I had to resort to my dad to help me make something. Unfortunately, the support I expected was not the support I got.
Hör zu, Großer, wenn du willst, dass das Wochenende irgendwie glatt läuft, müssten wir heute noch mal unbedingt telefonieren, okay? Es gibt nämlich einige Punkte, mit denen ich nicht so ganz klar komme. Ich helfe dir gerne, aber ich tanze nicht nach deiner Pfeife, klar?
Mach bitte keinen Stress draus. Da wird irgendwie ein Drama draus und da habe ich ehrlich gesagt keine Lust drauf.
Du brauchst jetzt nicht die beleidigte Leberwurst spielen.
Drama ist unnötig.
Lass erst mal den scheiß arroganten Ton. Hier geht es nicht um Drama oder nicht Drama, sondern hier geht es um ganz normale menschliche, zwischenmenschliche Dinge. Und wenn du was willst, musst du den Ball flach halten. Und ich kann, wie gesagt, ich helfe dir gerne. Es ist nicht zu wenig, was du verlangst. Ich bin zwar dein Vater, aber die Art und Weise, wie du es einforderst, ist nicht in Ordnung.
When I asked my father to help me make my great, big movie, I didn't expect him to be so mean. What did I do to deserve this? I've done nothing but ask for what you can give me without adding too much trouble to your life. I wanted my half-siblings, part of your new family, to act, and I wanted your support. Yet you've managed to turn this around into a tool you'll use as a weapon against me, painting me as the nightmare you failed to perfect in your image. Whatever.
Okay, du zählst.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
A boy goes missing in the woods, and 10 years after his disappearance, a filmmaker decides to investigate by interviewing the people closest to him. Simple, doable, adaptable.
We played hide and go seek. And the lake was beautiful, but pretty boring if all you have is water and mat to play with.
Your father was probably out hunting. Did you feel danger?
I don't know what you mean.
In the story, the boy disappears in the forest. I disappeared from my German family. I have to use my sort of family as a support system in order to help make this project, which I never expected to. Really have to mix my sort of professional student life with my family, and I was very afraid of it. But in a way, I think because it turned out that way, it makes the movie even better, and the experience even better.
Yes, I think after you made the experience that almost everybody outside let you down on that thing, on different reasons. I wouldn't say on purpose, but you can rely on very few friends, plus family, and I can understand that you have certain fears about that. But after all, they won't let you down. Your family wouldn't let you down. And so the whole thing, for me, it was really nice to see it work. For the first time, I could see and observe you in a kind of job you seem to like, and which seemed to be yours. So I can say now, I'm proud of you.
So many people feel it. That need to establish a life that shows you are your own person, but are still wise enough to deal with falling. But when my dad said he was proud, I understood what it really meant to be a son. But more than that, I began to wonder, was this film a one-time deal, or would it signify a turning point that could last indefinitely?